months now I've been living on a desert island, and my solitude, far from diminishing, grows from day to day. I can't bear being imprisoned by the sea any longer, even on this hospitable island where I live comfortably. I'm going to try, no matter what the cost, to reach the nearest inhabited land. I don't know the geographical position of my island, but everything leads me to believe that I'm off the northeast coast of South America. So, course due west. When I leave my island, my heart stands still. I recall my arrival, half dead, my first steps on this land which saved my life. My first fire. My happiness in finding the goat, in having a living thing to talk to. And all the other joys which the island afforded me. The seagull's eggs, the parrot, the cave, the fresh water. Even the wreck which a fortunate current drifted close to shore. My handsome suit, my parasol, my dog. All of that peaceful and free life which I liked so much. I'm going to leave all that to undertake the most dangerous of all my voyages. But that's my fate. Let's go. All I have to do now is finish my canoe and push it to the sea. Dick, this isn't the time. Go on. Don't you think it's heavy enough? Get out. Out of there. Get out. This canoe is too heavy. I'll never be able to get into the water. In my despair, I'd be capable of splitting my head open with my axe. Fortunately, Dick is here to comfort me. I'm not only overcome by despair and solitude, which weigh more heavily than ever. What's more unbearable to me at this moment is to give up the idea of leaving. Even in Brazil, where I was rich and happy, I secretly suffered because I was chained to my plantation. The wish to travel is so strong in me that I had to sublimate it by long horseback rides in the mountains. A short time after the conversation I had had with my neighbor, my servant announced that 3 gentlemen were calling. I immediately guessed the object of the visit. But I pretended I didn't know anything about it, and I let them talk. Gentlemen, welcome to my house, and excuse my appearance. Please, sit down.
We've been waiting for you, Senor Robinson. We've come here to discuss a matter of great importance with you.
It's about a project that we would like to submit to you.
By all means.
It's a very delicate matter.
You can trust me.
It is about a voyage.
A voyage?
A voyage. It is a matter that has something to do with the conversation you and I had the other day.
I don't know what you're referring to.
We were discussing goats.
I think I'm beginning to see.
We've discussed it with the plantation supervisors. You see, we are badly in need of slaves.
But the sale of slaves is officially forbidden here.
But it's a law that only favors slave smugglers who derive from it enormous profit.
But there are risks as well.
We must get those slaves right at the very source. Naturally, we have no intention of making a regular business of something all of us have contempt for.
Our only purpose is procuring secretly and just this once a supply of labor which we would divide to cultivate our lands.
Only one voyage.
And for our exclusive use.
Those poor creatures will be infinitely better treated here than where they're living almost like savages.
Over there, their masters show no regard for their health. And it's understandable since they can get a new supply whenever they like.
When they lose a slave, they replace him. It's quite simple. But here, it's to our own interest to keep them healthy as long as possible.
I am certain that after a short while here, they will appreciate the difference.
It's our sacred duty to help those poor creatures. And to contribute to making them excellent Christians.
It's more than a duty. It's a mission.
All my slaves are baptized.
All that doesn't tell me just what you want of me.
We've been led to believe that you have had great experience regarding these questions.
You have both the experience of the sea and also of this kind of business. That is why we have come here today, to ask you to be the leader of that expedition.
It's very dangerous.
You're not a man who shrinks before any danger.
You flatter me. But just the same, you mentioned there'd be certain risks.
Barely.
You won't be required to advance any money.
And as for outfitting our ship, we will take care of it.
And besides, your share of the cargo will be as large as ours.
Do you accept?
It's impossible. I don't want to leave my plantation now. My fields are just developing.
During your absence, we will take care of your land.
We will look after your harvests.
We give you our word of honor. We'll take as good care of them as of ours.
And we are prepared to swear to that, in writing.
I can see that you have thought of everything. Where must I go?
Somewhere along the coast of Guinea.
They unfolded their maps, sure that they had already convinced me. They weren't wrong. I couldn't find any reason to refuse. I had confidence in myself. And then, I wasn't able to resist the attraction of new adventures.
Esmeralda is a good ship.
We'll be happy with her.
It's not a terribly big ship.
No, about 120 tons. She has a crew of 14 men, and yourself.
And her arsenal?
6 cannons in fine condition, 10 muskets, a good supply of powder. All you will need in case of trouble. But I'm certain that you won't have much need of it.
I wish I was as certain as you.
We get down to the hold through here. They're loading the cargo now. Everything you will possibly need to use as barter.
My craze took hold of me again, but not entirely. I had become a serious man. Before leaving, I put my affairs in order. I had a lawyer come and dictated my will to him in case something happened to me. I left half of my worldly goods to the Portuguese captain who had saved me, the other half to my father. The ship was called the Esmeralda. The beginning of the voyage was peaceful and everything seemed normal on board, except that I never saw the captain. He preferred rum to my company. An Englishman has too much respect for the privacy of others to be offended by this. A sailor whispered to me, trembling with fear, that there weren't any rats on board the ship, which is considered a very bad omen by sailors all over the world. Although not unduly disturbed, I went to visit the hold, where I found chains installed for slaves. But no rats. Not a single one. I congratulated myself for not being superstitious.
Mr. Crusoe! Mr. Crusoe!
Yes, what is it?
He's not on board. He's vanished. Disappeared. He can't be found anywhere.
Who's disappeared?
The captain, sir. I've had the whole ship searched. He's not with you by any chance.
Enough joking. Explain yourself clearly.
I'm trying to explain it to you, sir. The captain has disappeared. He must have fallen overboard last night. A good man like that, drowning. And what's worse in water, me. I always thought I'd have to fish him from a barrel of rum.
I've decided to set down all these memories, these adventures, and the present happenings in the logbook of the Esmeralda. Perhaps, after my death, someone will discover the island and read my memoirs. I mustn't let myself be overwhelmed by the monotony and loneliness. The rainy season has started. It's a time to go to sleep early, to stay at home. It almost seems to me to have the melancholy charm of English winters. It's raining. It's still raining. That too reminds me of England. At home, when it rains, we always find something to keep us busy in the house. Which reminds me, I'm tired of bumping my head every time I come in. I'm going to make my cave bigger. There's a worthwhile task for the rainy season.